Hello friends, I hope you all are fine and I hope you're enjoying my videos on different subjects. So, what interesting topic shall we learn today? Seems to be a lot of power fluctuation today. So, how about learning commonly used electrical component symbols? Isn't it that interesting? Yay! Let's learn the commonly used electrical component symbols, which is quite often used in physics. So, how do you represent a cell when you're drawing a diagram in an electrical circuit? So, you represent a cell like this: a sleeping line, the long standing line, then a short standing line, then a sleeping line. The long standing line would represent the positive end of your cell, whereas the short standing line will represent the negative side of your cell. So we all know a battery or a cell has two poles or two ends, which is positive and a negative. Now how do you represent batteries or cell in a combination? Okay, so to draw them in combination, you first draw a sleeping line, a long standing line, a small standing line, sleeping line, again a long standing line, a small standing line, sleeping line, a long standing line, a short standing line, again sleeping line. So you can continue this depending on the number of cells which are in combination. So if you see here, this would be a positive, this will be negative. The next cell which is in connection or in combination would be always connected to the opposite pole. For example, the negative side of the cell will be connected to the positive side of the other cell. Similarly, the negative side of the second cell will be connected to positive end of the third cell, and so on. You should make sure that the batteries or the cells are always connected in this order. Manipulation or reversing the order will actually lead to damage of your cell or the circuit which you are constructing. So, how do you draw a switch or a plug key which is open? In physics, you will represent this as a sleeping line. Then you draw a right curve, then you draw a left curve, and then again you draw a sleeping line. So this would represent your plug key or a open switch. Okay. How about plug key or a switch which is closed? So when you are drawing a circuit, if you want to represent a plug key or a switch which is closed, you simply draw a sleeping line, same as above, whereas you put a dot in center which denotes this particular switch is closed. Now let's find out how to draw a wire joint. To draw a wire joint in a circuit, you simply draw a line, sleeping line, and a standing line perpendicular to it. The point where it joins, this will be your wire joint. Alright. So the next would be, how do you draw a wire crossing without joining in your circuit? So if you have a wire, you want to draw a wire crossing without joining. So you will represent it like this. You draw a sleeping line. You will draw the wire, but it's not joining here. So it will just take a C and continue. So at this point, it's not getting connected. So this diagram will represent wire crossing without joining. Now, how do you represent an electrical bulb in your circuit diagram? So, an electrical bulb in your circuit diagram will look like this. You draw a sleeping line, then you draw like this and like this. So, this will represent an electrical bulb in your circuit diagram. Next, how do you represent your resistor or resistance? So your resistor or resistance are, you will simply draw a sleeping line, then you draw some zigzag lines. This will represent your resistance or resistor. How about variable resistance or rheostat? To draw a variable resistance, you would simply draw a sleeping line, then the zigzag lines, and then your sleeping line. Since it is variable resistance, you will just draw an arrow like this. This will represent your variable resistance. In some cases, some people draw it this way also, where you draw exactly your resistance and an arrow coming down. This is your variable resistance or rheostat. Okay. Now how do you draw an ammeter? The ammeter will be drawn like this. You will draw a circle. Inside the circle you draw A, and you will put positive in one end, negative in your other end. And how do you draw your voltmeter? Your voltmeter is simply same as ammeter. Draw a circle, but you will write V, okay, and positive in one end, negative in your other end. I see a lot of students don't understand these basic representation of electrical components or symbols, who land up doing a lot of error or mistakes while writing their answers or even making their circuit diagram. So it's very important to know these basic small little things to make yourself perfect. So I hope this has made you clear in drawing an electrical circuit with different components. So friends, I'm sure you would have enjoyed me teaching you a lot of simple and basic electrical symbols which will help in your circuit. I'm sure you're enjoying, and please have a look at my other videos where I'm teaching you a lot of interesting things. So till we meet next time, bye.